Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, Sir, of the 2020 Podcast, LLC. Please say the LLC. And before you listen to this episode, I just got to let you know, I need you to stop what you're doing. Go to blkrenaissance.com, and I need you to shop for the culture. That's right. Anytime you use the promo code LLC20 at Black Renaissance Clothing's website, you will get 20% off your order. Off rip, no questions asked. So do me a favor and do it for the culture. Peace.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sade with Black on Black Rhymes. Step to the mic.
Mic check.
People always ask me where I get my confidence from, and I get it from inside. It's an inside thing, y'all. And when it comes to beautiful skin, I rock with Blendia by India, where her motto is, be confident in your skin. She has a variety of naturally made soaps to keep you smelling good, hair products for long, luscious, healthy hair, and even beard products for men. You know, we got to keep those struggle beards away. So visit BlendiaByIndia.com and use promo 2020skin to get 10% off your order. Thank you, Blendia by India, for being a sponsor of the 2020 Podcast, LLC. Please say the LLC.
Hey, this is Butter So Fly of Powerlines Poetry, here to let you know anytime I feel good, I have to look good, so you have to listen to me. Make sure you go to gurudesigns.com, use a 3 instead of an E. The website is great, so you can get something for yourself, and then she makes custom clothes for men too. And guess what? I got a promo code for you. Use 20/20 and it'll get you 15% off of any order $25 or more. You can't beat that. Go to gurudesigns.com.
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Okay, we lit it just like a fuse, so no need to pick and choose. Welcome to 2020, where we do more than interviews. The hottest be coming through, jumping knowledge on all of you. Get a bigger the front of you with the truth that they offer you. Yeah, hands up, we doing it for the culture. To give artists and businesses more exposure. Keeping it real and stay silent just like a boulder. It's about to go all the way down, can't get no lower. Chasing my dreams, know that they get no slower. But if I stay running, I promise they getting closer. Moreover, success my older. And if you're sleeping on me, I'm waking them up like Folgers. I told you, coming from the land with the tide roll. Well, we'll be on a whole different vibe though. We like to ride slow and keep our windows tinted so you really can't see us, like Stevie Wonder waking up with his eyes closed. Yeah, got the kind of flow that rock the boat. On my 16s of pounds of dough. And if you figure you can hang with me on the mic, then grab some rope. Matter of fact, better grab some hope. While you at it, we keep it live, it's time to tune in. Turn up the sound on what you're using. It goes so hard, I think it's bruising. The show is 2020, no need to zoom in. Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, Sir, of the 2020 Podcast, LLC. Please say the LLC. And today I got special guests, plural. That's about 4 S's right there, but I don't give a damn because I'm off work and I got paid. Wooisms is in the building today. Big Hes, Jay, Woo, how y'all doing today, man?
Good, brother. Good, man. We appreciate being on, man.
Hey, look, the pleasure's all mine. Like I was saying earlier, for Black History Month, I want to take a moment and highlight those who are making history now in our community. In Mobile, there are plenty of things moving, plenty of things changing for the better. And one thing I do notice is when podcasters are out about and representing, and to see Black people in the center of it, you know, in a whole new form of media that's relatively new and out here just representing, I think of you guys and a few others. And I just wanted to come and give you guys your flowers while you're here.
Appreciate you, brother. I don't know how they smell because I ain't never got no flowers, but we'll sell.
Man, the carnations be dying quick in the mail, bro. But I'm gonna make sure I get them to you, though. I'm gonna make sure. But before we get started, and we'll start with you, Woo. You know, because the name Wooisms. The very first question is, how did you guys come up with the name Wooisms?
Man, basically, so I started this journey by myself without my 2 brothers. And I started it when I was on a cruise for my birthday. I was standing in the middle of the Mexican Ocean trying to record this podcast. And I was like, man, I've always been dropping gems with my homeboys and just been saying off the wall stuff. So let me go ahead and put these isms into place. I'm like,
Mhm.
man, wooisms. So the name kind of stuck, and that's basically what we do. We talk the talk, we walk the walk, we have those black conversations, and then we just drop those wooisms every now and then. Just something off the wall we say.
You know what? I appreciate stories like that because when it comes to black folks, we like to hype stuff up, but I like the fact that you kept it down to earth. Because I done heard shit like people like, yeah, I was down and out, homeless, living in the car. I had a dream. God came to me, parted my waves, braided me up tight, and then my braids it said Wooisms on the side. And I was like, hell yeah, that's the name of the podcast. So I appreciate you keeping it that shit 100.
Man, no
Oh
doubt,
shit.
bro. No doubt, no doubt.
All right, brother. So how long have you guys been podcasting as a group?
So, Hes, you gonna take this, bro?
Yeah, it's been man, we going into year 3 now. So it's funny enough that like our 100th episode drops this weekend, and
Woo.
it's like the start of our 3rd year. And so it doesn't even seem like it's been that long, to be honest with you. I feel like it's really been about a year and a half. But 3 years on the way, man. And it's been a blast for sure.
Right, right.
That's amazing because I've seen so many ideas start and then die within the span of 1 year. But to take that and triple it, you know what I'm saying, to get past the terrible twos phase and to get where y'all at now, that's amazing, man. And here's to goddamn 20 more y'all doing this shit. Hopefully we all can get a check for doing this one day.
Hey, straight up, receive that.
Boy, hey, man, look, what you don't know is the homie Big Hesley is also the bishop.
Oh,
He is known as the Bishop Don Juan TV Hesley. And
Bishop
so
Don.
when you said that, he's gonna put it in the atmosphere. And he probably gonna hold his hand up and he's gonna say, we receive that in the name of the Lord.
Ooh,
Yeah,
anointed. Nah, don't
yeah,
play
Mm,
with it.
yeah.
mm.
But I don't be like them folks you talking about that went to sleep, had a dream with the braids and the rulers in the back. That ain't me. That's not me. You know what I mean? But yeah, we straight up receive that for real.
For real, man. Man, blessings on y'all, bro. Blessings on y'all. So let's get into what Wooism is about. If somebody was to come up to you guys and say, "Hey, I heard the name Wooisms. I seen it in some niggas' braids over there. What is the podcast about? What
Recording
do you
in
guys
progress.
discuss?"
Um, man, we gonna tell them, man, look, we about real talk, real business. We're about black. We're about, being positive in the community. Um, about highlighting black people, man. About highlighting the black excellence by 3 men that's gonna keep it real.
Mm, that's what I'm talking about. And like I was telling you guys earlier, I find this so important that we do it because a lot of times when it comes to things like this, it's so easy to say, somebody should do this and this. But for us to take initiative and do it ourselves is really setting the example. So that's one thing I really appreciate about y'all. So I'm gonna get to it. You know what I'm saying? You was in Mexico wading in the water and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Had your little mojito. So what really hit you to hit record though? Because you can have gems all day because sometimes you don't be feeling like talking. Sometimes you just want to chill and be you. But when you got something to say, what really inspired you to share it with the world?
Well, man, it was like, so the crazy thing is, and we speak about this all the time. Like, um, I've approached both of my brothers different points in our lives. Like
Mm,
I've contacted Hess at one point in time. It's like, hey man, we need to start something. We need to do something. Don't know what that something is, but we need to do it. I done reached out to Jay numerous times. Like me and Jay, we tried to start like so many businesses, but we weren't like in that space. We was just like, we had the ideas, we just didn't know what to do. So
mm,
this last time, man, I think I had reached out to like one of my line brothers. I was like, hey man, let's do this podcast. Let's just talk about something, man. You know, it's us. People are gonna listen to us. He was like, man, I don't know. So I was like, all right, forget it. And you know, when I was on this cruise, man, for my birthday, just celebrating life, I was just happy. I was happy, man. I was just like, man, let me just try this thing, man, because another one of my frat brothers, him and his boys, shout out to Orazio, Ferg, and Buffett, Three Brothers No Sense. They had a podcast. And so I reached out to him and he was like, man, everybody's asking me about how to start it, but nobody does it. Man, don't you be that person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I pressed record, man, by myself. Came back home the following week. I called Hes and J. I said, man, y'all come and jump on this podcast thing with me. We was sitting there drinking, laughing, having a good time. And they was like, man, we like it. We love it. Man, this it right here. It's like, I bet. Cause y'all stuck, man. So we finna do this thing.
I'm talking about entrapment. Let's get it.
Yeah, for real, man. For real. I was like, man, look, y'all, okay, we gonna do this thing. We gonna figure it out. And shit, that was episode 2, man. And now we coming into episode 100, bro, and we still here.
That's a blessing. See, I'm glad that you're using keywords like figure it out, because that leads into my next question. What obstacles did y'all encounter along the way of this 100 episode journey?
Man, I'm
And
gonna let both of them talk about it.
Man, what haven't we encountered? Like the second episode, that like the first episode with all of us on it, we recorded it on a phone in a room on the table. That was it. It was literally Woo's phone. So you hear like the echoing, like the sound was bouncing all weird off the walls in the room. It sounded like we were in a cave, like crazy stuff. And then we were just, like we've always gotten together and like had these conversations, but then like you think about it being in a podcast, so you automatically think you got to formulate something, you got to structure it, you got to hit certain points and things like that. So we had to figure out a flow. Not to mention, Jay was background for 6 months. Jay refused to come from behind the camera for 6 whole months. So it was me and Woo for the first 6 months of recording this. In the meantime, though, Jay is like our AV IT guy. That's his lane. So he knows anything technical. But like we went from recording on the phone to like Woo had this snow globe mic that we were sitting around like the Temptations trying to record every episode. to recording it with one program on the computer, then recording it with another program on the computer. Jay got like this camera 1 week, got a GoPro the next week. The GoPro don't want to connect with the computer, nor does the stuff want to upload on YouTube. Then we finally graduated to like real legit mics and a soundboard. Like, bruh, it's been an ordeal trying to figure this stuff out, man. And then, but like I would say that it's helped us tremendously. And then now we know as far as like the flow of things, like we said earlier, we kind of just rolled the ball out there and it's like, let's go be great, and it's magic every time. So, we've learned so much over the last 3 years, man. But as far as like more specifics around the tech part, that's Jay all day.
IT, I respect it, man. I respect it as an IT guy myself. Hey, shout out to you, bro. I don't know. Hey, I don't know if you can still hear me because you still look like Ghost Dad, but I'm tipping my hat to you, bro. Yeah, look, because we out here. We look. Because people like to call us and ask us questions. Hey, my computer won't turn on from over the phone. The hell am I supposed to do over the phone, sir? How am I going to fix the computer over the phone? I can't see nothing. So
yeah, man. So that's cool. Like he said, like kind of that building things up and deciding, okay, what are we gonna go with? Where we gonna start at? And where we plan to go with this? Of course you want to start and make your incremental steps. You're not gonna jump out and just go. all out with everything. But as time goes, we upgrade things, and we try to find ways to just make it better, man. Like I think that like everybody that comes and chills out with us, comes and hit that podcast, at first they kind of nervous because ours is straight through. We like, you're gonna be here for 2 hours and we're gonna talk, we're gonna be good. They be like, 2 hours? Like, hold on, what now? And we like, we always say, don't worry about it. It's gonna be good. It ain't even gonna feel like 2 hours. Nope. And then by the time we start into that hour number 2, they be gone, and like we get to the end, they like, man, that's it. It's over now. Like, and it's just, just such a great experience for people who never even dealt with it before. And that's really cool for me, man, because I feel like we also giving these people an opportunity to talk about their businesses, and outside of us, having our barbershop talk, it's something to just grow, man, and really expose the community to what people have going on.
And another thing I enjoy, I love when people be so pressed about time, because by the end of the episode, they'd be like, well, damn, I was here for 3 hours. That's the sign of a good time. And especially this, you get an opportunity to speak freely is probably some of the most, I guess, relaxing things I've ever experienced. When you could just talk and just have fun, you essentially forget you're recording. And that's one of the reliefs I love about recording. But
see, the thing about us too, man, is kind of like it's double, it's twofold, right? Because not only are we giving somebody else a platform to speak, but it's also helping us keep our mental in check. Because I don't remember when we introduced this quote unquote segment, but just like you do, sir, we have our introduction music playing, and we do our intros. We may talk a little bit, and then we going right into a mental check. Each one of us, everybody around the room, on a scale of 0 to 10. How is your mental, sir? What were you from the last time we recorded to this day? How are you doing mentally? And it's been some days, man, where shoot, all of us have been below a 5. But as of lately, all of us have been 8, 9s, or 10s. Even our guests, man, like some of our guests come on, they be like, you want me to be honest? I'm like, yeah. Man, shit, I'm doing like a 5. Why? What's up? They start talking, and then they be like, man, I needed that. Because we needed it too. We needed it. I mean, it's been plenty of times, man. Like, I don't care. I hit the brothers up and be like, man, what y'all want to talk about? I don't have nothing to say. I'm just messed up mentally. And then when we get on the podcast, it's just like everything got the door once we start talking.
And that's especially why I wanted to highlight us, because we give an avenue for those to kind of express those feelings. Because with black men, we hate to say it, one of the cycles we go through is suppress your emotions. Nah, I'm so glad that our generation gets to say, nah, that's old. We ain't doing that no more. If I'm feeling the way, I'm gonna be comfortable around the people saying I feel this way. So kudos to y'all for fostering that type of environment, man. Y'all are saving lives, bro. Believe it or not, by doing that and making that the standard, you saving lives, bro. Real talk.
Man, we try. We just do our part. That's it.
Appreciate that.
No problem. No problem. So I'm gonna move to my next question, because we're not all just podcasters. We have careers, we have jobs, sometimes we have families, So I'm gonna ask you, each one of you, and I'll let y'all decide whatever order y'all answer this in. How do you manage to balance work, podcasting, and your personal life?
Man, I'm gonna let one of my big brothers go first, man, because
Jay,
they killing it, man. They killing it. Like I'm just the how in that group of females, man, it'd be like a fine, like all the fine females, and then it'd be like that one fat friend. Like when it come to my brothers, man, and like careers and families, I'm that fat friend because they are exceeding the bar right now. So I'm gonna let them talk and then I'm just gonna come in.
Wait a second. Did you just call yourself the weak gazelle?
That's
I
what it
did.
sounded like.
He called himself the weak gazelle.
I did, man. I did. I'm the weak gazelle of pride, man.
Oh man. Okay. Jay, go ahead, brother.
But yeah, that's a good question though, man. Like because like for me, like I feel like I'm always busy, man. Like I I run a operation here of of scooters, so I have a crew of people that work for me, and you know, there's always something crazy going on with that stuff. Like you just wouldn't imagine the type of things that happen, the type of phone calls I randomly get at 7 p.m. on a Saturday. You know, it's just like it's crazy. But we talked about this the other day, and I think one of the things for me, and just like what Woo just said too, man, like the mental aspect of it all. You know, us coming together, for me, that's like almost like an escape from everything else. So it's like I gotta get that in because that's gonna be, you know, how I clear up my mental. You know, that's how I'm gonna make sure that I'm straight. You know, I can let go of my stresses for the week and my woosah moment. You know, and that mental.
See what you did there.
Yeah, just being able to talk to people, man, and you know, or talk to my homies, man, and like tell them what's going on. You know, if I'm feeling down, I can tell them what's going on, and you know, once you kind of let that out, you know, it's gone. You know, you let it out, you put it into the air, and then it's over, and that weight feel like it's lifted. But for me, that's one thing that always is gonna keep it going right there is like making sure that we all straight, you know. But it's always a challenge, and we said that we was gonna be, you know, committed to this, and in the very beginning, one thing, you know, I would say is like, man, you know, as long as we consistent, that's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be consistent with it. We got to keep doing this, and I mean, it's been this is year 3 now, and I mean, just about every week. So it's 52 weeks in a year, and we at episode 100 within 2 years. So I mean, we have rarely missed a week in these 2 years.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, kind of piggyback off Jay, man, is we definitely we all got families, we got kids, man, and just without any extracurriculars from ourselves, there's a lot of running around and management that you have to do with making sure that the wife and the kids are straight. But we did commit to this, like from the beginning. So we wanted to make sure that like we prioritized it to an extent and we made the time, but it does so much for us mentally, like we can't not do it. Like we got to record every week, not just so we can put out the product, but also so we can, you know, get this off our chest, whatever that may be. So, you know, we all three of us committed to that. We realize how important it is as individuals, not just to do something and put out content. And so, you know, when you got that type of mentality, then it's not as hard to make the time for it.
No, respect. And I do like the fact that you said that you guys just don't do content. You know, a lot of people will get so caught up in the schedule that they try to force out content. And sometimes that can put a strain on the natural flow of the tone. And when things are off, your listeners who really pay attention to you guys do notice. So that's a very good point you bring up.
Right.
Yeah, and I think something, you know, Hes said too, man, like that family, like I think, you know, we all married, you know, and our wives, like they also support us in this too. You know, like if it's been a minute and we haven't recorded, like my wife Melissa, she like, hey, y'all ain't recorded in a minute. What's going on? Like, you know, like man, it's been 3-4 days, but you know, we recording in a couple of days, or you know, like we good. She like, all right, yeah, I see your stress building up a little bit, man. You might need to go holler at the homies real fast, you know.
You know, and I think that's important too, that you guys got a support system at home that supports what you guys do because it's positive, you know. So kudos to y'all family folks, man. You know, hopefully I get that one day, you know what I'm saying? But until then, you know.
Yeah, you got to be careful with what you say though when you got your wives listening to the podcast.
Yes.
Woo hadn't figured that out yet. But but me and Jay figured it out. But we going into year 3. Woo still ain't figured it out yet. And Tay listened to the episode religiously. She listened religiously. He still ain't figured it out. So
Yeah, man. So like with me, man, it's kind of like, man, I got so many moving pieces going. Like it's crazy. But one thing about it is like, before we make a move or whatever the case may be, we always hitting the group text and like, hey man, is this good for y'all to, like, when you reached out to me, for example, big homie, and you was like, hey man, want to get you on for an interview, what you think about that? I'm like, cool. Then you shot me the time, shot me the date. I said, hey, what about, having my brothers on? He was like, yeah, that's cool. So immediately when you said that, I reached out to them. I was like, hey man, y'all good with this, and this? It was like, yeah, cool. So, we always running stuff by each other when it's dealing with recording or whatever the case may be. The same thing, like, with the wife. Man, I'm always telling her like, all right, so, we probably gonna record this night, if it's like via Zoom or whatever the case may be. Hey, I'm gonna need the room for a little bit or whatever the case may be. Cool. But it's like I said, I got so many moving pieces, man. The post office is the post office. I don't have like a big luxurious job like other people. It's
Wait a
like
minute.
I'm
Good
just
sir.
it's just
Good sir, you have a
office.
government job. Quit it.
Hey man,
Quit it.
It
he
might
said
be
government.
it's a little small government job, brother.
Nah, bro. Nah,
Man,
bro. You got
it's just
federal
small, man.
holidays, my guy. Nah, ain't letting
Yeah,
that slide.
but ain't
You
nothing
got
but like
God over here
11.
looking like, really? Really?
It's just 11 a year, man. But for real, man, like,
I feel you.
but yeah, man. So like I got the post office, then I got the podcast with my brothers, trying to do some other business ventures, and then on top of that, I'm not one of the people that just preach about change or whatever the case may be, man. Like I'm like one of the I'm in the community as far as like being a mentor, coaching, um, trying to be that change in the black community with our young black men, and which beforehand we was talking, I'm like the coordinator for the Mobile chapter of Omega Lamplight. So that takes that takes a lot of time now. It's time consuming because I want to ensure that we have our mentors in place, we have these programs in place for our kids, man, and so we can keep them active, keep them focused, and keep them on the right track. Um, for example, like this past weekend with the HBCU NFL Combine, Big Hess brought his son, brought my little nephew out there, and he saw our mentor group, and he was so happy and excited. He was trying to do the little hops and moves that we taught our boys, and they was enjoying it because they was able to see experience like a little bit of that college life, and then we took them to the basketball game, and they was excited. So man, it's just a lot going on, but it's worth it. Man, we get tired, but sometimes you be like, man, I gotta keep pushing.
And that's important. And I'm glad you said that because there's other motivations to keep people pushing, which brings me to my next question.
Got it. Go.
I'm smooth with these transitions. I see you, Jay. I see you recognize it. You know what I'm saying? I'm surgical with this shit, Jay. But over the course of 3 years, you guys obviously have made a plethora of memories. If you had to choose one memory that kind of solidified why you guys chose the podcast, how you have that one moment that's like, you know what? I'm doing this for the right reasons. What memory would you say would that be? Got head scratching his chin. I know that was a good question. Let's go.
Oh man. Man, it just like it's really not just one.
Good answer.
To be honest, to
That's
really
why
to
it's
be
so
honest, bro,
tough.
it's really not just one. Like it's funny, man, because we Oh man, we haven't really did a top 5 in a while. We normally do like top 5, like random topics or whatever on, but I mean like I think the the one that really sticks out the most is when we had Mama Queen and Bambi on from Inspire You, and we did it last year during Women's History Month. During the month of March, every episode we released, we were highlighting Black women doing positive things in the community, and we had Mama Queen and Bam on, and they was just telling us about their struggles of what they went through in their corporate worlds prior to creating Inspire You. And so we get to talking or whatever, and I just throw it out there. I'm like, hey, y'all ever thought about having podcasts on? And it's like, funny you should mention that. We'll talk after the episode. And so after that, man, they presented us with an opportunity to be not only the first podcast on Inspire You on air, but the official podcast of Inspire You on air. And that was pretty dope because even though we were a little over a year in, we were still figuring stuff out. We were still figuring it out. So that'll be the main one for me, the number one. The number.
Oh, shout out to Inspire You, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's definitely probably the top one. I think the memory wise, I had to go with the one where we had the moms on. Like that was pretty significant. That was like the first time that people actually got a chance to like see who we were personally. Wasn't just like wasn't anything like topic based or whatever, but I think after that people started to kind of I guess you could say like really see who we were. So I think that's why it was so significant.
Yeah, I had to agree with Hes, man, because I don't know, man. For some reason, like people like associate me by being an asshole. So when we had the moms on,
for some reason,
for some reason, calm down, Bishop. We're on another platform. Thank you. But yeah, like he said, man, when we had the moms on, man, it was like we was like back in baby boy mode. So a lot of people like come in, they was like, man, we think y'all, well, especially you, we didn't think you had emotions and feelings. So yeah, that was pretty dope, man. That was the first, like, kind of like the first episodes that really let people know the other side of us.
What you got, that vulnerability?
Yeah, man. For me, I mean, I just gotta agree with that. Bam and Mama Queen, man. It was like that was to me like a big transitional moment for us. We made a partnership off of it, and that has grown, and even Inspire You has grown, and it's a global brand, really. Even though it's here in Mobile, it's global, and it just kind of opened my eyes to just other things. Like, man, we really are the cream of the crop. So that really, kind of hit me, man. Just experiencing all of that stuff. But but I would say on top of that, I liked Averhart, man. That was early. It was really early when we had Averhart on. But that was something else that was like, man, giving him a platform, which not like we had to give him a platform because he was running for office, and he had his campaign going, and there was a runoff, and we was able to really kind of, I feel, expose some people to him, that they didn't know about him. They didn't know his accolades and his accomplishments, and a lot of them like, man, look at this guy, man, he's just a dude from Mobile or whatever. And it's like, no, this man has accomplishments, man. This guy, has been, official, like real Pentagon type guy, so it's not like, he's just a random person. So that was cool because we were able to make a connection with somebody that's doing something really huge. And it made me feel like, man, like I said, it was early. So it felt like, man, we're doing something big. Like, this is huge. Like, we have the power to really make change for real. And so, I can only imagine what it's going to be like when the next election season comes around and it's like these big elections happening. We're sky's the limit.
There you go. And I'm glad you brought up the future, because that leads to my next question. One thing about being a business, whether you guys realize it or not, you guys are an entity. Wooisms is a business. So, and I again, just like everything else, I would like to get each one of your opinions and view on this question. So, where would you guys like to see yourself as a podcast, as a person, as a career, as a family, just in general, in 1 year, in 3 years, then in 10 years? So where would you guys like to see yourselves in 1 year, in 3 years, and in 10 years?
Oh man. Okay. So 1 year from now, I'll probably see myself recovering from a weekend of celebrating. Uh, I mean, it just so happens that my birthday is at the end of January, so we
Oh,
always take we always take a fellows trip around that time,
okay.
and then we'll also be celebrating uh the next season of Wooisms. So I'll probably be somewhere recovering. Um, like always, that's 1 year. 3 years from now, um, hopefully the podcasting industry will have grown here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Um, got some ideas, trying to bring some things to fruition. So 3 years from now, it'll probably be just coasting. It'll be smooth sailing. 10 years from now, my baby girl, she'll be graduating from high school, and I just be chilling, man, chilling, living life like now. Um, I just want to live comfortably and leave a legacy behind. That's it.
Mm, that's that key word I was looking for, legacy. All right.
Yeah. So, oh, you go ahead, His.
No, you got it. You got to go.
All right. Yeah. So, 1 year, like I said, for the podcast, I see us, just growing. It's kind of crazy because I know I keep saying it, like, but it seems like we do things that are just unexpected to me, and it just
Mm-hmm.
always randomly happens out of nowhere. So in a year, I feel like something else that we are not even thinking about right now is going to happen within the next few months, and we're going to be like, wow, So next year we're going to be in another position that has, brought us, more success for the podcast. I feel the podcast for 3 years. Like Wu said, I see us kind of smooth sailing, coasting. Everything's gonna be almost on autopilot, and we're gonna be a lot more influential at that point as well. I think we'll have a lot more affiliations out there. Wooisms will be more widely recognized. We might have, who knows, some nice business opportunities going.
Mm.
Personally, in 1 year, I see my own company kind of blowing up off the ground. This year is supposed to be really big for me, 2022. In 21, I set up a lot of things. So I got a lot of things in motion. And so 2022 will basically prove my concepts. And in 3 years, my concepts will be even, will be solid. And on that legacy tip, I'll be in 3 years, I'll really see that growth starting to happen there where, I'm investing into properties, making larger business type moves, And in 10 years, man, in 10 years, I plan to not be moving unless I feel like it.
I like that.
So, yeah.
All right. So for me, well, I'll say this, and I said this to the fellas last week. I had somebody give me some career advice, and the career advice states: in your first year of doing something, you trying to figure it out. The second year, you're mastering that role, and in your third year, you're growing. You've grown so much at that point to where you're moving on to something different, or you're expanding your role further than what it is currently. So with us going into year 3, I mean, I'm expecting us to have like to still be podcasting, of course. Like I don't see us letting go of this anytime soon, but to be doing more than just recording a podcast. Like I feel like we're gonna be expanding in different avenues and different ventures. Whether that be helping other podcasts off the ground, maybe from a network standpoint, something of that nature. I feel like something like that is going to eventually go. I feel like those parts are going to start moving within the next year. 3 years, I see us. I see us being a very influential piece in the podcast game, especially within our city. Like I feel like we'll be a staple for podcasts in the city, man, for sure. And then 10 years, I don't even know in 10 years, man. I'm also the type of person to where like I don't think too far ahead personally. I focus a lot on the day to day. I'm a grinder. So, whatever happens in 10 years, it happens in 10 years. But I definitely believe that like we're gonna be doing some bigger and better things. I think personally for me, I started like a new gig last year, so still kind of figuring that out. I feel like I'm gonna be going more into the mastering phase within this first year. Third year, like I'm gonna be having my money make money for me. That's the goal. But that be in real estate, some other type of business venture, but my money's gonna be making money. And then 10 years, if I had to say something, I'm gonna be like Jay, moving when I want to move, not being forced to go to work because I have to, but going because I want to.
I like the ambition I'm hearing in all three of y'all, and the fact that you speak it brings life to it. So having that opportunity to hear you guys' visions is amazing. It inspires me as well. So that's going to bring me to my last question. And honestly, I did not intend for this interview to take as long as it did, but I feel like I had a good time with you gentlemen. So my final question I always dedicate to the people listening. And that's because the hardest thing to do is to take an idea, a passion, and share it with the world and really put your eggs into it, really invest in it. What words of encouragement would you Big Hes, Jay, what words of encouragement would y'all have for somebody who has an idea, but they're afraid to act on it?
Yeah, I'll go on that one. Man, just do it. Really. I mean, that's like, it's probably sounds cliche, but just do it, man. I have a mentor and he told me, you just got to do it. You can't spend too much time thinking about it. You can't spend too much time waiting on it. You want to plan your stuff, but you don't want to plan too long. Study long, study wrong. So, it's like he said, you fail and fail fast. Like nobody really knows or nobody talks about their journeys, or you might hear people talking about their journeys at the end. Once they're successful, they tell you about, all the things that happened along the way. But, it's not just like, okay, I made it to the top. I threw my idea out there and it blew up. You do have those one-offs where people just blow up off of something randomly and it just happens, but that's not everybody's story. So like, when you fail, when it don't work out, it's just a part of the process, and don't be afraid that it's not going to work out, because what's going to happen is you're going to learn from what happened. You're gonna learn from what you did wrong. You're gonna know next time, okay, I did this last time. So maybe, next time before I, go out and do the business bank account, maybe I needed to wait on that before I do, maybe I should do something else first, but I've done, I call myself a serial entrepreneur. So like if I don't like try to start an idea every year, then something is going wrong, man. It's like I always got something happening, and like every time you learn something new, there's always going to be learning in the process. And so that's my thing for everybody. Don't be afraid of what might happen or what might not happen. Just go out and do it. And if it doesn't work out, just get right back up and keep going again. And eventually, if you let something knock you down and you don't get back up, then, if you don't try, you definitely not going to do it. Like if you don't try, the answer is already no. So it's just, that's it, man. Just do it.
Good answer.
I would say feel the fear. So like we're all become fearful, especially when you're looking to take like a big step. And we take a big step in life with something, but rather than
that was the baddie fingers right there. You saw that?
Yeah,
I caught it.
yeah. But rather than to let that fear paralyze you, allow it to propel you. And so, but the good thing about it is that we dictate like what happens. Like we dictate whether we're gonna let it paralyze us or we dictate whether we're gonna let it propel us. So just feel the fear and press through and continue to move forward towards what you're trying to do. Like it can be done, you just got to make the choice to do it.
Man, bars.
Man, I don't know how I'm
you can't
follow up.
You can't.
I can't follow up. I can't follow up between both of them. I mean, I basically just say, man, look, just try it. Leap out there and try it. We know we always our own worst critic. And I mean, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. If you're not gonna try it, nobody else gonna push you to do it because they don't want to see you do something that they're not doing. It's funny, man. I tell Hes all the time, we started this podcasting thing, and then somebody was like, man, if Woo and Sean could do it, I know we could do it. And they jumped out there and started, but we ain't heard nothing from them in a while. So it's always somebody, man, that's looking, and I tell them all the time, man, we always gonna have people that's gonna tune in, people that's gonna listen because they really fuck with us and they want to see us be successful, and it's gonna be people that's gonna listen to hope that you fail. But guess what? They listening. So we gonna provide this commentary for them to listen. If I didn't have somebody to say, "Hey, man, you could do it," or get out there and do it, we'd probably still be at the table right now trying to figure it out. But then it took me to actually make that leap of faith and to say, you know what, fuck it, man, I'm finna try it. Then I even took it a step further, man, and like I said, I brought my brothers on, and I didn't get him a choice to bag out on me. So sometimes you gotta have somebody, man, that's willing to go to mile with you, and make that leap of faith with you as well.
That is in essence family and brotherhood, man. I'm glad to hear it. I'm here for it. Now that being said, that was my last question. So let me ask you, if anybody wanted to get in contact with you, whether it be about starting a podcast, see what I did there, or if they just wanted to be a guest or just wanted to network with you, what is the best way? And also, what if they were interested in getting more information on the Lamplighters? Like, how could they contact you guys?
Man, you know, my personal pages are always open. Um, on IG, it's K_D_Wooten, and on Facebook it's Kendrick Wooten. But you can also hit the Wooisms uh Facebook page at Wooisms Podcast. You can hit our IG page at Wooisms Pod, and then you can shoot us an email at wooismspod@gmail.com. And we're revamping our website right now. So just hit our pages, and then we're gonna direct link y'all to our new website where all the merch, all the episodes, all the tomfoolery is housed at.
Hey, that is. Well, with that being said, this has been your boy Sir Wooisms. Another black podcast doing great things, and I look forward to seeing more of you guys out in the city. I look forward to perhaps collaborating with you guys again in the future. And with that being said, this has been your boy Sir Wooisms, and we are out.